Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the squad. It's Black Thor, Icewater, and Puma. We're going to hot takes. Black, what's your first hot take, man?
Yeah, this one kind of popped up a few days ago. Aja Wilson for the Vegas got a shoe deal now. Now, I don't know if she's just saying this to be convenient or polite. She says some of the men that works for the past couple of years. I'm not sure about that. But I see her pop up with a shoe deal. All of a sudden now, WNBA has money, charter flights. What has changed?
Ice?
I mean, look, bro, we already know what it is. Money talk, BS walks. I think that they feel an influx of money coming in, people watching Caitlin Clark and the whole group, the brand new group of rookies coming in. And I think they think there's going to be I wouldn't say so much a resurgence, but just like a breath of fresh air. More people may be watching because a lot of people love Caitlin Clark. And I think that's just what it is. So I agree with what has been said right there that the money was always there, but it's almost like I'm not going to invest until you show me that it's worthwhile investing in. And I think that's what it really comes down to. So now all of a sudden you might get a few charter flights here and there, but you still gotta make money. So my question is, how long does the Caitlin Clark gravy train run? Okay, so it's cool now. If she start playing and they start losing a few games, and is everybody still gonna be as excited as they was coming out the NCAA? But I mean, WNBA, like I said, it's never been about money. They always had the money because it's backed by the NBA. Again, I told y'all last but not least, I'm gonna get off of this. It's like that Title IX thing, man. They doing it out of like because people expect them to. So
Yeah, I see. I saw that. I saw a few things, but I was listening to an advertisement on the radio. I was in the kitchen doing some cleaning yesterday, and they were talking about the WNBA and don't miss the games. Catch it wherever you can. They didn't give you a channel. They didn't give you a network. None of that stuff. Just catch it. Just go out there and look for it and catch it. But I was looking at some statistics with how the WNBA loses money every year, millions of dollars every year. And they said, because the women are always talking about we need to get paid equally, but if they had to divvy up what the women would owe after the season with the deficit, each woman would have to pay $83,000 to make up for the deficit that they have in the WNBA of not making money or not even getting even. So I think they're trying to, with Caitlin Clark and with Angel Reese and this kind of new kind of emergence of the game, the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson effect. I think they're trying to capitalize this to at least get in the black this year, a little bit in the black, to kind of justify why they should be paid a little bit more money. Black.
Well, I forgot to mention too, they're going to put a franchise in Toronto, Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And in San Francisco also, Golden State. They're
yeah.
the team.
I think they were embarrassed, man. I think they were embarrassed. Nobody really was paying attention. I think when it came out to how much Caitlin Clark is going to be making, that she's not going to be writing charter, I think the WNBA was hardly. I think they were strongly embarrassed, and I think at that point they decided, let's tighten some things up to make it look good to the new people that's coming on. And there was a lot of questions like why they're being so underpaid and why they don't have certain amenities. And I think they rushed to try to short it up. But like I said, it's going to be interesting, because usually when rookies come into the league, any league, they don't kind of stand out. How long is that going to last? How long is that attention is going to be there? And when that attention, if it goes away, what are you going to do then?
Aisha, hot take.
yeah, my hot take. I wasn't gonna go here, but I'm gonna do it because I don't know how much time we're gonna have. But I'm gonna give it to Black Thor. Denver Nuggets are not dead, bro. They came back. They like, look, you know what I'm saying, y'all. I mean, how many people said they were going to get swept? They closed the door. They brought out the brooms, and look here. Right now, it's 2-2. Who would have thunk it?
Black.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I was one of those that didn't think it was going to come back either. So I'm not going to basically toot that horn. But I will say something about Denver that we're all seeing the past couple of games, man, is that team, when they want to play, like the coach said, they've been together. I mean, we assume like they just came out of nowhere, but they've been together knocking and building for quite some time, man. And it shows when they really lock them, they want to play. And to me, they just didn't take the Lakers serious. I don't think they took the Timberwolves serious for the first 2 games. And I think they kind of woke up and realized, wait a minute, we're the freaking champions. You know, what's going on here? And I think they kind of really got together. I think they kind of pushed that switch. I hate to kind of say the switch, but I think they kind of got in that mental, like, you know what, we got to step up and start playing. And it's amazing. I've been saying this all year, you know, to watch them play and what Joker does, we take it for granted. I'm not going to say myself personally, but I think the NBA has taken it for granted where they basically want to talk about other knuckleheads that's not even in the playoffs all season, want to spend time talking about that. And you got a team out there, man. To me, that's basketball. The way they play basketball, the way they feed off each other, the fundamentals, the things that they, you know, if they're not doing something well one night, they come back, they're better at it. They're well coached. There's no superstar trying to run around and be about me. They're not thinking about hiring some punk that went to Duke to be their head coach. It's just that's what the NBA really should be pushing, but they don't because they don't look at Denver as being sexy. They really don't. But I will say this real quick, man. In spite of what's going on, I mean, I think the NBA kind of missed the ball. Jamal Murray should have been suspended. When he threw that at the referee, the towel, and that heating pad, that brother should have been suspended. I know they don't want to kind of compromise what was going on, but you got to start respecting these referees, man. I remember a year ago, I watched Tarazi push a women's referee. Nothing happened to her. I'm sorry, man. Are you expecting to really go out there and really call a good game and they get abused this way? I mean, I'm a big fan of Jamal Murray, but he should have been suspended for a game or two. And if they lost the series, so what? Go back and look at Draymond Green. He didn't do nothing to a referee. Stepped over LeBron. And guess what? They gave that series for the most part by doing that to Cleveland.
Yeah, I like what Denver's coach did after they got blown out at home in the second game. He said he walked in the locker room. They were all quiet, kind of sulking, things of that sort. He's like, "Yeah, I got beat. What you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? You know, you're defending champions, yeah, but what you gonna do about it?" So, you know, he didn't pat him on the back like it's okay. You know, we'll get him next game. He's like, "Y'all gotta take this home. Y'all gotta live with this. Y'all gotta come back." What I noticed that Denver is doing defensively is they're taking Anthony Towns out the game. And if he doesn't really kind of produce for Minnesota, they're lost. They're lost. You can't rely on Gobert. You can't rely on, you know, all the other components of that team. But when you take that big man out, you pretty much got them. And I watched everybody kind of like throw dirt on them, saying, you know, yeah, they won it last year, but they can't do it this year. Anthony Edwards, you know, he's going to be this guy. They're going to, you know, just kind of giving Minnesota, you know, the path to going into the Western Conference Championship. But Denver, like, we're going to have something to say about that. And you got to think about it. No team has won in their home court. So we said it last week, Black, that this was going to be these series that are happening as must-see TV, because I watched Boston. We're going to get to the NBA in a few. I watched Boston, that blowout Cleveland. They were like, oh, sweep. Cleveland was like, we told y'all. We told y'all we're not done. So it's, to me, I'm more excited about watching NBA basketball now since the usual suspects aren't there. I still can't get Pop to watch, but but I'm excited to see these young players kind of, you know, make a name for themselves. And this is where you make a name for yourself in the playoffs. Aaron Gordon, oh my God, man, last year, now this year, Ice.
Yeah, well, I mean, see, I think that's the key though. So you look at, we know what the Joker's gonna do. Your Joker's gonna do. Murray at times when he's healthy, he can do some things. But and it's been Anthony Edwards from Minnesota. But when you look at it from the standpoint of Denver, Gordon, just alone, when he wants to get into his bag, he's almost unstoppable because he's like a nomad. He doesn't, you know, have a nice jumper. You know, he can dunk. We know that. He can play defense. When he get into his bag, he dropped 27 points, right? 27 points. Nobody ever expect that from him, but he gets in that bag. Even when Michael Porter Jr. was struggling or whatever at times, this guy gets in the bag, and then of course Jokic is gonna be who he is. He just need really one other dude with him, and maybe another half a guy, and then they just go from there. So with that being said, Minnesota with Edwards still dropping 40, right? Very interesting, but you need more. You need more than one or two dudes, and that's one thing about Denver. You get 27, like Gordon at 27, like man, that's all they need, and they go from there. And You know, if you get a little bit more from KCP from time to time, and some other guys, they may not be the team that they were last year, but they're here to tell Minnesota, hey, you know what? It ain't gonna be that easy, bro. You got to earn it. In fact, they're like, Edwards, you got 60, bro. We're gonna do you like Boston did Jordan. We don't care. You have many points as you want, but we will not sit back and let you beat us by yourself.
Segueing right into the NBA playoffs, you have the Boston Celtics who lead 2-1. The Knicks battling out, got blown out last night, and the Pacers they're 2-2. The Thunder, you thought the Thunder was just going to roll over people being the number 1 seed, and the Dallas Mavericks are like, you know what? With Luka hurt, banged up, every time I see him, he has a new injury. But they're up 2-1, and then you have a tie between the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. Ice, give me your eye test on NBA basketball. The playoffs are here, baby.
No doubt. I'm gonna go right where Black Thor don't want to go. I'm going right there. I've been trying to tell y'all. Y'all been dogging my man. Y'all been talking about it forever. But when that damn Kyrie Irving want to play, when he want to play, he is one of the best players in the league. And for some reason or another, you feel like you want to play now. And you know, you look at him, whatever. But the dude is talented as hell. But he don't give all the effort, maybe because I don't know what it is. He don't want to be leadership. But in Dallas, it's like, you know what? I'm playing with Luka. The other thing too, I find is ironic about Dallas is, you know, Luka has a superstar uh, identity, and he'll tell you, you know, he's looking for calls and everything. But I think they kind of, you know, it's kind of yin and yang. They kind of balance one another. And Luka respects Kyrie's game. Kyrie respects Luka's game. They know what they got out there. Now, do they have anybody else? They got what's the other guy that's Washington that's coming out of nowhere, scoring those points. So, but collectively, man, they got something. And OKC, as great as they are, as it have been in the regular season, and when it's time to bring it, Lucas shut down a little bit. Kyrie was like, "Nah, don't worry about it. I got you." And I'm telling you, y'all think it's a joke. The fact that he's shooting those crazy shots with the left hand, bro, that dude is a magician. He just got to get his head right. It's like Derek Coleman from back in the day. DC was one of the greatest power forwards ever. If you get him to show up, Kyrie's in a good place, family good, ain't nobody talking about him too much. He just hooping, man. I don't know what else they're gonna do, but I mean, I like that from that standpoint. Knicks Pacers, boy, I know y'all nervous as hell right now because y'all lose one more dude to injury.
You know
Y'all
what?
might have to bring Charles. Look, y'all might have to bring Charles Oakley out.
This is the criticism that Tibbs gets, that he runs his players so to the ground that they can't finish season. They can't.
Yeah, but man, come on, man. This is the damn NBA. Don't do that. Don't do that. Look, you're supposed to be down without Randall. Remember Randall? Randall gone for the whole season. They've been playing their butts off. Now they get a little injured. You know, we had this, man. Nah, y'all ain't getting away with that. No. Suit up. That means boy just needs to score some more points. They're playing and Indiana's talented as well. So they're taking advantage of the fact that the Knicks are hurt. But you know, it's Hart is hurt. Well, if he get this and what was the other guy? A couple other guys hurt. Got hamstring. Dude, you better do something. Tighten it up. It's the Garden. Make it happen. But if not, I mean, they playing a hell of a series despite what's going on. But Indiana's pretty tough too. Cavs Celtics. You know, the Cavs got the one. Celtics. I don't know, man. I'm still, until the Celtics win the championship, I'm still a naysayer because you got all that talent. You're using certain people some kind of way. There's no reason why they shouldn't win the title this year. And if they don't, I'm still gonna be like, you got to prove it to me. As we said too earlier, Denver, Minnesota. Hey, Denver's like, bro, ain't nobody playing. Look, and the thing about it, I said I always liked Malone. I thought he should have been somewhere. I was really surprised when Sacramento let him go before. I think they could have been in a different place, almost like where Denver is right now. But they let him go, and he went over to Denver, and he just fit right in. He's a hell of a coach, man. He knows what he's doing. You know, you just get the right pieces around him, and he makes things happen. But I don't know. I'm a little bit more interested now. So you got LeBron out the way, Durant sitting down, Clippers gone. We about to get to some real basketball now. So I ain't got to worry about James Harden not showing up. We better get to some real basketball. So we'll see.
Black, the Joker wins the MVP again, third straight year. San Antonio's rookie wins the Rookie of the Year. He should have got Defensive Player of the Year. He had better stats than Gobert. But your eye test of the playoffs, man.
Yeah, congratulations to them both, man. Yeah, Joker, I'll save him for a little while. I'm gonna go to the Knicks, man. I ran into a cat in the supermarket on Sunday. I haven't seen in a while. He's a Knicks fan. We was talking. He said, "Hey, man, I've been hoping trying to catch up with you. We could talk." I said, "Bro, I just can't buy in. I just can't buy in. I mean, I'm happy for the success, but you know, one thing about the Knicks will do. If you buy in, it will break your heart, bro.
Yeah.
They will find a way to break injuries, whatever you want to call it. Reggie Miller calling the game, whatever. All types of different things, but Knicks going to find a way. And I applaud them getting this far and doing what they did and with the injuries, and rightly so. I think Tibbs can do a better job of working the bench. But when you're winning, you know, you have to accept it and go on. But I think that series is basically what I think Knicks is basically going as far as they can go. Boston is helter-skelter, bro.
Mm.
I've never seen a young group of young cats that basically have no leadership, none, no dog. Other than Brown, there's no dog on that team. I mean, I like the point guard, but Jason Tatum, I'm really to the point. Now, I don't want to hear his name anymore. Until he shows up and put that team on his back, I don't want to hear his name anymore. I don't want to hear about potential, what he's done, he could be, and all that. I'm tired of him. I like him as a player, but I'm really sick of him. It's like he disappears. He's soft. You can throw a bunch of adjectives at him, and he's all that, in my opinion. Man, I'm gonna tell you, Ice is right about Irving, man. I like the way he's playing, but I like what he's saying. He said, "I've learned with this team, I pick my points." I said, "Damn, I pick my points when I'm gonna go out there. I let them do this, and then I know when I gotta come and do what I gotta do." And I'm like, "That's a veteran," because I'm not sure if you guys, I'm sure you noticed. I think it was might have been game 2, basically game 2 or game 3, when what's name went to the bench for like 10 minutes, and those players came out there. Dallas Mavericks was a totally different team, man. Totally different team. They ran up and got like a 10-point lead. And it's to the point that at some point, either kid or the owner has to sit down, Luka, and tell him, look, you got to stop hogging the ball, man. We're paying you well. You are the man, but you got to let the ball move because they're trying to placate to you. But when they play, Dallas is tough, man. When they let those young cats play and the trades they made, that's a tough squad. And then you got Harden, with the junior coming off the bench, they're tough. But when they're not trying to basically showcase Luka, that's a bad squad, bro. And I got a funny feeling, they're going to give Denver a tough time. I won't be surprised if they win it, just a little bit. But, Dallas looks, I couldn't believe it. I was watching them like, you gotta be kidding me. This team is much better. And now, for some reason, they're trying to play a little defense. A little defense. They're incorporating some defense. And the more defense they play, the stronger they want to become. Going back to Denver, man, it's like, realistically, what more can be said, bro? What more can be said? That team is just something else, man. I think, if they win it this year, and I believe they probably will, how they come back next year, I don't know. Because they were just so lackadaisical this year, even in the playoffs, to where can they always keep turning it on? But there's something special to watch, man. I'm glad that a lot of the boneheads that are always in there dominating did not end, where we as a nation, we as basketball fans can see some other people play. And Gordon, man, I remember when he first came to Denver, all he could do is jam. All they can do is basically alley-oop. Look at this cat now. He shuts people down, outside shooting. I remember when they draft Porter, the night that Porter was injured when they drafted, I was like, that's a waste of a draft pick. Wait, and look what he's doing now. So it's like I said earlier, this team has been building methodically for a long time, and they don't get the respect that they deserve.
Nicely put, fellas. Let's go to the Major League Baseball report. I'm looking at the standings, Ice, and it seems like Baltimore and the Yankees keep going, like they're just battling for first place, 7-3 in the last 10. One of the teams that really surprised me, and they are 8-2 in the last 10, is the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, they've been playing some great ball, and nobody's really talking about them. The Dodgers do what they do. They're 8-2 in their last 10. San Diego 7-3 in their last 10. Let's see if San Diego can cut down on that 5.5 game lead in the West. But give us your report, sir.
Yeah, you hit on a lot of the points from the standpoint of looking at Baltimore in first place, Yankees trying to come around. The Red Sox are trailing by 5 in the American League East. In the Central, Cleveland I don't know how they doing it. It's like, are they battery operated? They replacing all kinds of, things from that standpoint. They still keep winning and they still remain in first place, followed by Minnesota. And you also have Kansas City making a move in that division. Moving over to the West in the American League, Seattle's in first place. Seattle's up by half a game up on Texas. Texas just want to kind of stay around close and hover around first place until they get ready to make their move in the postseason. That's what you kind of do when you're a champion. Also, when you look at it from the standpoint, Oakland A's only 3.5 back. That's saying a lot, despite the fact that they are in, I call turmoil, not knowing where the hell they're going to play for the next 3 years before they get to Las Vegas. I'm moving up to the National League. You already said in the East, Philadelphia Phillies, really? We know they spent a lot of money in the last couple off seasons trying to get ready. They got it done, and now they're just kind of really paying off for them. Atlanta's 2 back. Washington's 8 back. The Mets the ship is sinking very quickly. We'll see what happens there. Moving over to the Central, Milwaukee's in first place, and the team that Puma doesn't really want to pay attention to, but you got to give them love. How they doing it with Band-Aids? Chicago Cubs only have a game out, baby.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, when you don't talk about them, they're right there. Pittsburgh is 6.5 out in the Central, moving over finally to the West in the National League. Dodgers are just the Dodgers, right? They just keep feeding, keep getting fat, and keep storing all kinds of things, taking all the best talent with the best payroll. They're about 5.5 up on San Diego. Arizona is 7.5 back. Unfortunately, it seems like San Francisco is headed for a tough time. You got to think about it from the standpoint, they're 8 games back at this current point, and I understand that they almost lost their entire starting outfield in the weekend due to injuries. So you're going to be bringing up a lot of guys up from AAA or AA or whatever. That's going to be hard to hold on to, particularly when your pitching is not the greatest. So you think about them being only 4-6 in their last 10. It's going to be a struggle, but we got a long way to go. Keep watching, making sure they keep baseball at the news. And last but not least, as I get off on this baseball situation, I still don't know how the hell they saying that man took all that money by himself. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that right there.
I got a question for Pop. What's happened to the Houston Astros?
Man, come on, man. I mean, can we be real about it? I mean, they've been up and down, but can we be real about it that I don't care what you say. I think with Dusty Baker, bro. Come on,
yeah,
man.
that's what I told him. Yep.
For real. Yeah, Dusty Baker. I mean, you think about it. You can say, oh, well, we got all this talent, but you need a motivator. And Dusty's been there. Dusty's won as a player. Dusty's won as a manager. And he has a great clubhouse. You want to come, when you go to work every day, you want to go to work for Dusty Baker because he understands it. But Dusty probably playing jazz some damn where with his toothpick hanging out his mouth. Just chilling. I love it. I mean, I love it because he was so cool. But in order for Houston to come around, maybe that's where Altuve or some other guys will have to rally the troops. That's one thing Dusty Baker could do. Love him or hate him. He finally got his championship. Be like, peace.
Yep, a World Series team, but not a World Series manager. Before we go to last second shot, Black. It's a big fight with heavyweights this weekend. Usyk and Fury. Put your money on Usyk, baby. Put your money on Usyk.
You got it, man.
Last second, Black.
Last second. Yeah, I spoke about it earlier, man, about the referees in a sense. One thing I've noticed, it seems like they're allowing the games to be played, which what a lot of people want. They're not calling a lot of these fouls. So these players, you got to adapt to it, understand what's going on. But at the same time, the NBA needs a little bit more to protect the referees, man. I don't like the way they're being treated. I mean, they're not quick to throw the texts in the playoffs, but they should. Because this disrespect, every time, especially Luke, every time this is a shot, he's turning around, he's talking. I'm like, go play the game, man. You guys are making millions. Top ref maybe make what, $400,000, $500,000? Do me a favor. Take their salary for a year. Let them take yours. Let them yell and scream at you. See how you feel.
Yeah. Ice?
Yeah, there's so many things you can jump around on, but I'm going to stick with WNBA. Like I said earlier, I really want to see how this plays out. Everybody's excited. Caitlin Clark scoring these points. She's doing this. I really want to see, are the college basketball fans, women college basketball fans, going to put their money where their mouth is?
Mhm.
Okay, it's great early on. I'm glad she got a shoe deal, whatever she can make the money out of, and the other ladies will come along too. Is everyone gonna start now watching the WNBA and making it better? It sounds good. Sounds great, but I said if Caitlin Clark struggles, some other young ladies struggle, are you gonna find out and watch the games? Are you gonna pay close attention? I think personally what's gonna happen, I think they're gonna have a nice little run early on. I'm glad the women are getting their flights and things like that. But I think all this really is done is gonna shine a brighter light on women's college basketball. I think that's gonna continue to thrive because people will start to look at more up and coming young ladies that can play, maybe not as well as Caitlin Clark, but I think the point of the parity in women's college basketball is great, and I think it's going to continue to grow.
Yeah, and they're raising ticket prices like the NBA. And I'm like, pump your brakes, get the people in the building first before you start raising those ticket prices. I have maybe three real quick. I misspoke last week saying JJ Redick was the new coach of the Lakers. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. They're still looking. Big Baby, I think, gets about 14 months. And I'm trying to figure out where is Brett Favre and how come he ain't in jail for stealing millions from the poor people of Mississippi? Where is he? Where is he? I'm gonna say that every last second shot till Brett Favre's in jail. Where's Brett Favre? But this is not a sports story, but it was one of the gentlemen that introduced me to the world of jazz. It was Grover Washington Jr. and David Sanborn. Mr. David Sanborn passed away at the age of 78. And if you don't have his collection or his music, do yourself a favor and download all his music. All his music is great. And we lost another jazz legend in David Sanborn. Rest in peace, sir.